Shalom. And I want to start off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachach Chodash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you, Akim, that's out there listening, pushing forth this word with truth and sincerity, and your few Akwat as well, that's listening with sincerity. All right, today, just coming back at you guys through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And are we allowed to judge? Are we allowed to judge? Because we know that in this world, you judging another person or judging a matter is deemed or seen as being evil, or you being offensive, or you being basically a hater, right? That's how the world views judgment whenever you do it, okay? Because we live in a world where basically everything is engulfed around lies. You can't point out character flaws about a particular person. You can't tell somebody that they're fat. You have to sugarcoat it. Okay? You can't tell a woman that she's being a harlot. Now you're being offensive. Now you're being insecure. This is a world that lacks judgment. Okay? But coming into the truth, you come to find out you are allowed to judge. Okay? And it has to be a righteous judgment, of course, regardless what these people think. You know, we here being groomed up to be judges, okay, rulers. So indeed, we are allowed to judge, okay. Let's start with this in the book of Matthew 7 and verse 1. Before I read it too, because I want to point out another thing about judgment. Whenever it comes to the case of a woman, right, let's say if you're judging them based upon how they dress, if they have harlot attire on, and then you tell them, oh, you know, you're not supposed to dress like that, this, that, the third, then that's when she starts to buck up and be like, oh, you're not allowed to judge me. You're not my dad. All these different excuses, okay? Which even recently, the elder down there in South Carolina, when he was holding camp, a few birdies pulled up, and then they were inquiring about, you know, what this is about, this, that, the third, and the elder brought a couple precepts pertaining to how a woman is supposed to dress. Then as soon as those scriptures came out, then all of a sudden, oh, you're not allowed to judge me. Scriptures say don't judge, right? But no, which this is the scripture right here we're going to read, okay? You are allowed to judge, okay? Just because it doesn't fit your lifestyle and fit what you want doesn't mean it does not apply. Okay, that's the thing about these people. If it doesn't fit what they like, what they want, now you're being a hater. Now you're being insecure. You know? But anyways, let's get the scriptures, man. Let's let the scriptures speak. This is Matthew 7 and verse 1. It says, judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. And this is not telling you that you're not allowed to judge. It's just telling you that if you judge, make sure that you're applying that same judgment upon yourself. In other words, it's telling you not to be a hypocrite. Okay? You are allowed to judge. But make sure before you cast a particular judgment, you think, am I doing this? Am I applying this? Before I'm quick to say, yo, don't smoke. Smoking is bad for you. But here it is. You have the blunt. What, you know, blunt is your 2 fingers. You're smoking it. And then you're telling the next person not to smoke. Right? So in that particular situation, you're not allowed to cast judgment and say don't smoke. Because you're doing it. Okay, part of you being a judge and exacting judgment, you got to lead by example. All right? That's what these 2 verses that we just read is basically saying. Don't be a hypocrite. If you're about to cast judgment, state your opinion and deem, yo, this is right and this is wrong, make sure that you're applying it to yourself. Okay? Because a lot of these people out there, man, they're hypocrites. They say don't do this, don't do that, but here it is. A few seconds later, they're doing it. That's the world. But we aren't to be so. Okay? That's what the scripture is saying. It's not saying you're not allowed to judge. We are allowed to judge. We judge. Hey, in the scriptures, in the Bible, there's a whole book named Judges. Okay? We have to exact judgment. How else are you supposed to cut wickedness from the root if you're not exacting judgment? If you don't, then wickedness gets to spread like a cancer. Okay? Wickedness is going to spread. People are just going to continue living in their lust without getting any rebuke, any judgment, any order. And then that's how they like it. That's why whenever you come, you judge. Oh, you're not allowed to judge me. You can't judge me. Only God could judge me. No, nigga, we are allowed to judge you. Okay, thus saith the scripture. Okay? But anywho, let's read verse 3. It says, and why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote that is, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? In other words, hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite. Okay, here it is. You're telling the next man, yo, you got dust in your eye, whatever. Here it is. There's a whole beam in your eye, right? It's an analogy, right? Like I brought out the example with smoking. Okay, even bring out this example. Let's say, hey, oh, you're not allowed to commit adultery, but here it is. You just slept with the next man's wife, and you're telling the next person not to do it. Oh, you can't eat pork, but as you're telling him, you're eating a baconator. You see, you can't do that. You just simply can't, because the judgment is not going to hold. The person that you're telling that to is going to look at you. This guy's being a hypocrite. He's not serious. You're doing it too. Right? And you see a lot of this in the world where with people that's parenting kids. Right? You know, parents these days, you know, they don't basically raise their kids to follow their examples. They'll tell their kid, don't do this, don't do that. And they're doing it. Don't smoke. They're smoking. Smoking ciggies in the backyard, and you're telling your kid don't smoke. He's looking up to you. You're the father figure. Okay? You're telling your daughter don't do this, but here it is, you're doing it. You're her role model. That's why a lot of these kids these days is just completely through. Because the examples that they have, you know, they're not very good. Okay? But let's go on. It says, verse 5, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. That's it. Okay? Like I stated earlier, right? You're being a hypocrite. And how should I said it? Thou hypocrite, you have to cast out the beam in your own eye first. Then you're allowed to exact judgment. Okay? Look to yourself first. Don't be quick to judge the next man. You're going off. And here it is, you're doing the same shit. If you do that, hey, that measure is gonna be meat unto you, man. Trust me. The Lord will show you that, yo, you're being a hypocrite right now. And put you know, yeah, we can't be hypocrites in this. Okay, let's look up that word hypocrite. This is the word hypocrite in the blue letter. In the Greek, it says Hippocrates. It says one who answers, an interpreter, an actor, stage player. That's it. You're simply being an actor. Okay? You know, you're not holding true to your words. A dissembler, a pretender, hypocrite. You're being a pretender. And we can't be pretenders in this. Okay? Now, let's get this. In the book of Matthew, the same, and I think it's chapter 23. Hold on. Because back then, 2,000 years ago, when Yahushua was on the scene, the wicked scribes and Pharisees, they were being hypocrites. Because back then, you know, they were in, you know, in a position of basically leading the people and telling them what's wrong and what's right. Right? They were learned in the law. and people will come to them with particular matters for them to judge, and them they were being hypocrites in judgment. And Yahweh Shai, when he was on the scene, he was seeing through all the bullshit of these niggas. Okay? They were there buying the phylacteries, telling men, yo, I'm holier than thou, don't do that. But here it is, they're swallowing a camel. Okay? Right? So let's get this. This is Matthew 23 and verse 1. It says, Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees seat in Moses' seat. In other words, in the seat of judgment. Okay? The elders of the people. They're the leaders. Right? That's what it means being in Moses' seat. Okay? Verse 3. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. So Yahushua was telling them, whatever they tell you to do, do it. But do not follow their example, because they're fucking hypocrites. They'll tell you to do this, do that, but they're not doing it. Because Yahushua he was seeing through all the bullshit. He was seeing through the lies, to the acting of these Pharisees. And here's behind closed doors, they're doing complete wickedness. Okay, so they weren't worthy, they weren't fit to judge matters, man. Because they weren't leading by example. They weren't applying their own judgment. That's the thing about judgment. That's the thing about you judging. You got to apply it to yourself, man. Okay? You can't be dirty yourself and then telling the next man to be clean. It doesn't work like that. Okay, but regardless, we're allowed to judge. Regardless of how your feelings, how you feel, yo, it's offensive. If it's righteous judgment, it's allowed. Okay? Let's get this as well in the Corinthians, in 1 Corinthians 6. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 1. It says, Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? So Paul's saying, if you have a particular matter, you want to solve, but whatever it is, you have friction between a brother, he did something to you, don't go before an unjust judge. Bring it before the saints. Okay, in other words, let's say if we have art against a brother, you're not going to go and bring the brother to court, man. Okay? These things could be solved within the church. Okay? These things that can be solved amongst us. We don't have to go to Esau to, yo, brother did this, Esau, yo, you know what I mean? That's not needed. Because we are judges. We could judge matters between ourselves. Okay? Let's read it in the NLT. It says, 1 Corinthians 6 and 1, when one of you has a dispute with another believer, how dare you file a lawsuit and ask a secular court to decide the matter instead of taking it to other believers? Because that was happening back then. That's why Apostle Paul wrote this. He wrote this letter to the Corinthians. Okay? In this particular chapter, because that was happening. So he's advising them, how dare you guys do this? You could bring this matter between other believers. You guys are judges, no? Judge the matter between yourself. You don't have to go before Esau, before the Romans, and for Esau to determine what judgment is going to be worthy for your case. No. Okay? Let's back to the KJV, verse 2. It says, Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? Again, that word judge right there. Don't you know the saints are going to judge the world? And if the saints shall judge and if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? See, we're allowed to judge, man. If the world's going to be judged by us, man, you think we're not worthy to judge the smallest matters, man? Minute things in the law, simple things of how you're supposed to dress. Going back to that video with the elder in South Carolina, you don't think we're allowed to judge these matters, man? You know? Yeah. Because once again, we're judges. We're judges in the making. And there's going to be situations that the Lord's going to put you in where you're going to have to exact judgment. Okay? Because you're going to be exacting judgment in the kingdom too. So it starts now, the scrimmage, the grooming. All right? We're going to judge the world, man. Because we're the ones that's you may say, worthy of discerning right from wrong. Okay? Because that's what being a judge. Being a judge, you have to be able to discern from right and wrong. And the elect, Abaratazah, will be of thy number, part of that governing body, the 144, for the men, of course. If we be of that number, hey, we're worthy of deeming what's right and wrong. Because right now we're experiencing, the left-hand side of things and experiencing righteousness as well, to where that, hey, we're going to be perfect judges, in the kingdom. Just like Yahushua. Okay? I want to look up that word judge real quick. All right. So this is the word judge. It says, krino. It says to separate, put asunder, to pick out, to select, choose. In other words, discern. Okay, knowing from right and wrong. That's what you're separating. You're separating the right from the wrong. You're separating the wrong from the right. You're putting the two aside to see, this is the proper judgment. Okay, you did such and such, he did such and such. Based upon the evidence, I could clearly see you're wicked and he's righteous. So you put to death, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. To approve, esteem, to prefer, to be of opinion, deem, think, to be of opinion. Okay, to pronounce an opinion. Yeah, the definition A says to pronounce an opinion concerning right and wrong. That's what it is. And we know what's right and what's wrong. We have, a palate according to judgment. Okay? We know what's the spirit of error and the spirit of truth, man. Like Job said, cannot my palate taste perverse things? Right? You know what? Let's get that one real quick. I think it's in Job 6. I want to say. Let me see. Yeah. This is Job 6 and verse 30. It says, is there iniquity in my tongue? Cannot my taste discern perverse things? Yeah. Our tongues can discern perverse things. Our palate is being approved by the Yahweh Shem Yahushai to where that we're going to be able to judge these matters. And it starts now. Okay? So we are allowed to judge. All right? So back to 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 3. It says, know ye not that ye shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? We're even going to judge angels, man. Come on. So how much more things that pertain to this life here, bro? Let's read it in the NLT. It says, don't you realize you will judge angels? So you should surely be able to resolve ordinary disputes in this life. That's straight up facts. And any brother in the truth shouldn't be bring another brother to, to court, man. Okay, that's going off, real talk. Because even Apostle Paul is giving advice and what to do, and this is what we have to do, man. Okay, but regardless, hey, if we're gonna judge angels, man, hey, come on, man. The things here, bro, these minute things, these ordinary fleshly, these mere, small disputes, man. We should be able to resolve them ourselves. Okay? And then that's just how it is. But hey, the point being, man, we're allowed to judge, man. Okay? You can see it right here, man. The precepts, they prove it. So this thing of, you can't judge me, I can do whatever I want, I make my own decisions, that's for the world, man. Okay? Let these people think whatever they want. We'll see at the end of the day, once the Lord starts showing his hand who was right. We're allowed to judge, man. You're so judgmental. Why are you so judgmental? Yeah, I am judgmental because I'm being groomed up to be a judge. Deal with it. You know what I mean? Because that's how these people see whenever, you judge particular matters, man. They see you as being judgmental. Oh, you're so straightforward, this, that, the third. Because they're all caught up in their feelings, man. Their feelings are in a bunch. But anywho, we're gonna close it off there, man. All right, giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachach Chodesh. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time, I will say Shalom.